Today's technological world is rapidly advancing. While advances are constantly being made to improve and revise technology, some things remain unchanged. There will always be people that are in need of accessibility to achieve their levels of learning. It is the job of teachers to know how to make education fully accessible for all. Knowing this, we want to ask the question, what are some of the top tips that I can utilize to help create accessible content and implement universal design in the classroom? Tip number 1, know the laws and guidelines. Accessibility for all is the law, and we must step up and enforce it. There are many laws that have been put into place to help protect those with disabilities and make sure that they receive the accessibility that is needed. These laws include the ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, the Rehabilitation Act of 1973, Section 504 and 508, the IDEA, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, 1997, Section 255 of the Telecommunications Act of 1996, the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, also known as WCAG. Teachers should listen to parents and their students when they express the lack of accessibility. It is imperative that we understand these implications and stand up for what we know is right for our students, schools, and districts so that wise decisions can be made by our leaders. Lack of prudent decisions or inattention to complaints can often have costly ramifications ordered by the court system. Non-adherence to the laws can be costly, so we want to avoid that by following the laws. In addition to these laws, there are also guidelines that have been set forth. These guidelines are called the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. These guidelines are an international set of guidelines that are the basis of most web accessibility law. They establish that websites should be constructed in a poor manner, meaning that they are perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Tip number 2, identify your target audience. The second tip to creating accessible content and implementing design is to know your target audience. Accessibility is being created for those with many types of disabilities. These disabilities include, but are not limited to, hearing, vision, motor, cognitive, seizure, temporary disabilities like broken limb, injury, etc., and even more. However, accessibility can also make the learning experience for those without disabilities an even richer experience, so a teacher should target everyone. Tip number 3, understand the principles of accessibility and apply. Teachers can understand principles for making websites accessible. These principles are based on the POUR guideline established by the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. As mentioned before, these require that a website is perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. Another principle includes that the website uses alternative text. It is also well-structured and clearly written content, contains headers for tables, and users are able to navigate easily to relative content. It is also important to remember that the websites should not rely on color to convey meaning and the link should make sense out of context. Lastly, it should include accessible, non-HTML content. Knowing and understanding these principles helps teachers look for accessible content. Once a teacher can identify what makes something accessible, then they can use tools to confirm if it passes the accessibility test. The purpose of utilizing good web content is to serve as a solution to those with disabilities. As teachers, we want to make sure that we are enforcing that solution rather than creating more barriers. We can use tools to help us evaluate the accessibility of web content. One of these tools is called WAVE, provided through webaim.org. This tool allows you to type in a web address, and it will indicate inaccessible web content. The inaccessible content will be listed as red errors. WAVE will also show yellow errors, which suggest items that could be done better. It reinforces things that are done well by showing green errors. After everything has been identified, the tool will offer recommendations on how to fix and improve the web content. Tip number 4, implement and utilize the universal design principles. Now that we have reviewed the principles of accessibility, it is important to know how to implement and utilize the universal design principles. These principles state the following. First, UDL provides multiple means for representation. This is the what of learning. The goal is to transform accessible into usable knowledge. Second, UDL provides multiple means of action and expression. This is considered to be the how of learning. It states that options for action and expression are essential. Third, UDL provides multiple means for engagement. This is the why of learning. Teachers should provide resources in which all learners can interact and engage. Remember, one size does not fit all in learning. Tip number 5, adjust and elevate learning by applying the Technology Integration Matrix, or TIM. Now that we know the laws, audience, and principles, teachers can adjust and elevate learning by applying the Technology Integration Matrix. This comprehensive matrix has been created to show how teachers can use technology to enhance learning for all students. It includes 5 characteristics of meaningful learning environments combined with 5 levels of technology integration. Each of the levels increase in intensity to bring innovative learning to the classroom. The matrix can be found for reference at http://fcit.usf.edu/matrix. These are some of the top tips to help teachers create accessible content and implement universal design learning in the classroom. For additional information and resources, please see the references and explore this webpage further. Thank you for watching and listening.